Haji. It's over here. Is Alexander Isak. A further twist last night. Julian, what have you made of it all?
I think it's quite an incredible saga, and I think we expected a saga to happen with Isak or with somebody in the Premier League this season. Maybe not that big and not like that, not when he refuses to train, not when Newcastle seem to be quite strong on their positions, and I believe it could come from the top of the club, from the Saudis who, as we know, have it's on their own terms, really, especially when they are the richest club in the world, even if they can't spend the money exactly like they would want to. So I really believe, and I've said it many times now, that Isak is not going to leave the club. I don't think Liverpool will put an offer in at the level that what Newcastle wants. And Newcastle's difficulty to find a replacement for Isak is also a problem here, whether it's Wissa, Trent Larson, Nico Jackson. It hasn't proved easy for them to find a replacement. So it's an incredible situation when you think about it. And I'm not sure what would happen if Isak ended up staying at Newcastle and how you rebuild this relationship with the club, but more importantly, maybe with all the Newcastle fans that seem pretty angry right now, and rightly so. So it's an incredible position to be in. And I don't think there's an answer to it. I think he would be a Newcastle player come September the 2nd.
Welcome back. It's been an incredibly busy transfer window so far, with well over £2 billion spent by Premier League clubs. Football finance expert and lecturer at University of Liverpool, Kieran Maguire, joins us live now. Kieran, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. We'll start with a deal that has dominated this summer window, and that's, of course, Alexander Isak. Let's start on the Newcastle side of things then. We know that they want that British record-shattering fee of £150 million. Just how much of a boost would that be for their PSR situation?
I think Newcastle United are actually in quite a strong PSR position to begin with. The first year of ownership from PIF it's now worked its way out of the system because they're assessed over 3 years. So they do have more flexibility. And remember, they have sold players in the last couple of windows as well. Certainly, if he goes, then that would allow a lot more spending to take place. But I don't think that they're being constrained. They're not being prevented from buying anyone under the current levels as far as their finances are concerned.
Kieran, as for Liverpool, we've already seen them make a significant outlay this summer, over £320 million. Any potential Isak deal would see them approach the £500 million mark this winter in terms of money spent. Do you think this deal is feasible from their perspective?
Yes, and part of the reason for that is that when you sign a player, you spread the cost over the life of the contract. So the players coming in are normally coming in on 5-year contracts. If you take £500 million, divide that by 5, it's going to be £100 million hit in what we call amortisation as far as the accounts are concerned. But Liverpool have done really well this season as far as the summer trading is concerned on the exit door as well. So Diaz has gone, Nunez has gone, Cancer has gone. He's an academy player, that's pure profit. So Liverpool, who always operate a very, very smart system and are never in danger of PSR issues, have got a lot of capacity to spend money as far as this summer is concerned.
I mean, just as a whole, Kieran, it's been an incredible window already. We're seeing money being spent more aggressively than ever before in the Premier League. I think we're about £100 million off breaking the record for money spent in a window. What's fueling all this spending?
Well, I think if you look at the drivers, we've now got 5 clubs taking place in the Champions League instead of 4. Champions League participation is worth up to £150 million in additional revenue. So those clubs that want to get into the Champions League, they're being more aggressive in terms of their spending. We do have the sort of the challenger clubs, the aspirational clubs, the likes of Villa and Newcastle, who are trying to do as much as they can because they want one of those 5 places. In addition to that, we've had the success of the Club World Cup from Chelsea's point of view. That was worth £80 to £90 million. Even Manchester City, who were knocked out relatively early, they still made £40 to £50 million. And some of the overseas markets, such as the Saudi Pro League, have been beneficial to the Premier League when, whilst there's been relatively few deals, it certainly has brought additional money into the Premier League, and that money then starts to circulate. And if a Premier League club sells to another Premier League club, that has a ripple effect because of the way that the profits are taken immediately and the costs are spread over a period of time.
Kieran, let's talk Chelsea then. They have up to 9 players they're looking to offload as they try and balance their books this summer. I mean, rival fans are often envious of how good they are at selling. How do they do it?
Well, Chelsea have been amazing. I've got a spreadsheet in front of me which shows that they've had total sales of players of around about £1.8 billion since the Premier League started. That's twice the amount of Arsenal. That's twice the amount of Manchester United. It's £700 million, at least more than Liverpool and Manchester City and Spurs. So I think what Chelsea have been very clever at doing is utilising their academy. You look at the level of sales, Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount and many others as well. Again, that's pure profit from their point of view, so that allows them to recycle those profits back into spending. They've got academies effectively all over the country. They're a very high-profile club, and that investment that they've made over the course of the last decade in particular is really working. I was talking to one academy manager, and he says, we're not a development centre of the club anymore, we're now seen as a profit centre, and there's no better profit centre in the country than that of Chelsea.
Michael, where do we stand then with Rasmus Højlund?
Yeah, Rasmus Højlund, AC Milan still working on convincing Manchester United forward Rasmus Højlund to join them. Milan have proposed a loan with an option to buy, thought to be around £40 million. Both United and Højlund prefer a permanent move, and it is thought there is enough room to discuss how the move could become permanent depending on certain conditions being met. But it seems this will come down to Højlund. So yeah, that's an interesting one on him, because obviously he had a pretty good pre-season at Manchester United, but clearly no future under Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, it doesn't also feel like Jadon Sancho has a future at Manchester United under Ruben Amorim, but as it stands, he's still at United.
Still at United, but Roma haven't given up on striking a deal for Jadon Sancho. Now, the Roma head coach is the main driver of this possible deal. He's a big admirer of the player. Roma have made an offer of around £20 million, which United would agree in principle. However, like the Højlund deal, the final decision rests with the player. However, as it stands, Sancho wants to explore other options. You've got Besiktas and Borussia Dortmund, among a number of clubs exploring that situation.
Yeah.
Manchester United's summer transfer shake-up has taken another twist, as the Red Devils have dropped their pursuit of Brighton star Carlos Baleba and are now weighing 2 exciting alternatives. Ruben Amorim, desperate to avoid the same fate as previous managers since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement, has already overseen a flurry of signings with Matheus Cunha, Diego Leon, Brian Mbeumo and Benjamin Sesko all arriving at Old Trafford. But the Portuguese boss isn't done yet. He still craves a commanding midfielder before the September 1st deadline. United made official contact with Brighton for Baleba, but Fabian Hürzeler made it crystal clear the 21-year-old isn't for sale this summer. That rejection has pushed United toward 2 intriguing targets, Morten Hjulmand and Adam Wharton. Hjulmand, captain of Amorim's old club Sporting Lisbon, is admired for his leadership and consistency. Yet Sporting have already sold Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal, making them reluctant to lose another star. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace's Wharton has exploded onto the scene, helping the Eagles win the FA Cup and Community Shield in just 18 months. But Palace's sky-high valuation could force United into a bidding war. Could Amorim convince one of them to join the United revolution?